The war widows of North and East Sri Lanka live far below the poverty line. They desire to have nutritious meals, access to clean water, and shelter for their children and themselves. Yet with very minimal financial, social, and emotional support from the country, the likelihood of their needs being met are extremely low. Their villages are nowhere near bus services, health services, and marketplaces. Isolated, the war widows hold hearts full of pain.
வந்து பார்க்கணும்னு சொல்லி வந்தவன் வந்து பார்த்த நேரம் எல்லாரையும் பிள்ளைகளை கூப்பிட்டு பிள்ளைகளோடெல்லாம் சந்தோஷமாக கதைச்சிருந்து போட்டு முதல் உங்களுக்கு என்ன தேவைன்னு சொல்ல அவங்க சொன்னாங்க எங்களுக்கு பள்ளிக்கூடத்துக்கான உபகரணம் தேவைன்னு. நாங்கள் எல்லாரும் போராட பாதிக்கப்பட்டு நாங்கள் அப்போ அதால் எங்களோட கிராமத்தை கொஞ்சம் முன்னோக்கி இருக்கிறோம். நல்ல ஒரு சந்தோஷம் எங்களோட பெரியாக்களையும் கூப்பிட்டு இப்போ கைவிடப்பட்ட விதவிகளை அவைகளையும் கூப்பிட்டு அவையோடையும் கதைச்சு உங்களுக்கான என்ன தேவை என்றதையும் கேட்டுருக்குறா. உங்களுக்கு சில பேர் கோழி கேட்டிருக்காங்க, சில பேர் ஆடு கேட்டிருக்காங்க, அதெல்லாம் செய்யறேன். அதெல்லாம் இப்போ செய்ய முடியாத காரணம் இல்லை. அம்மா அப்பா யாரும் இல்லை, நான் போரில் வந்துட்டாங்க. நான் யார்கிட்ட சொல்கிறேன்? என்னோட எனக்கு சௌரம் வருது. எல்லாரும் ஜாட் பண்ண ஒருத்தனும் கதைக்கிறேன். நானும் என்ற 6 பிள்ளைகளும் தான். இந்த தொழில் இல்லைண்டா நம்மளோட தெரியும் சிஸ்டர். ஆனால் இந்த நேரத்தில் அந்த நேரம் எனக்கு கல் வச்சுதான் இதெல்லாம் படியாக வச்சிருக்கேன். கல் வச்சதுன்ற நேரம் அவன் எனக்கு இந்த திராசு படி வேண்ட கூட உதவி செய்வா சிஸ்டர்.
Pain stems from 26 years of ethnic-based war in Sri Lanka. The war broke out in 1983 between the Sinhalese-dominated Sri Lankan government and the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, a militant group that was keen to establish a separate state for the Tamil minority. While 2009 marks the end of this ethnic-based war, the post-war effects were traumatizing, to say the least. Mistrust, fear, and a sense of insecurity swept through the nation. 42,000 Tamil women in northern Sri Lanka and 44,000 Tamil women in eastern Sri Lanka had lost their husbands, livelihoods, properties, while children lost their fathers, education, and some even became orphans. Their lives were forever shattered.
Reverend Sumitra Fernando was one of many who witnessed the shattered lives of the Tamil widows in North and East Sri Lanka and held them prayerfully in her heart.
Brought a proposal about empowering more widows and children for Shalom, because I thought that they need peace, they need life, they need hope. Only church can do it. From there I used to travel 40 to 50 miles away from town and then to visited the families, and there I met widows and children, how they were going through difficulty. Some children have not had their food for 2-3 days. Sometimes there's nothing. When I go to their kitchen, only one chapti mutti there, no chairs to sit, no mat to sleep. When I go and then when I talk to them, good morning, eppadi, vanakkam, then they were so happy. They, with that pain, when they smile, their faces are very beautifully bright. Then we came up to the empowerment program starting point. That time we had a great need of money to support these people. Then only Tamil Christian Church in Canada, they came forward. We were able to communicate with each other, Tamil Christian Church in Canada and then to Shalom Project Committee. We were able to talk to each other, and then we have had a good conversation, and then we had the good understanding. With that good understanding, they gave us a real support. With that, we started empowerment program.
TCCC partnered with the Shalom Committee to provide funding for 150 war widows in Vanni. By God's grace and goodness, their fundraising efforts raised $47,700.
And I'm excited to be sharing with you a gala event that we are producing.
உதவும் கரங்கள் இறை இசை மாலை என்ற அருமையான நிகழ்ச்சியில் கலந்து கொண்டு ஆண்டவருடைய நாமத்தை
It was reportedly said that there were about 40,000 widows who were having serious problems. Most of them had lost hope, and it was a challenge to the church to do something. One of our singular lady ministers had a special call to go and start work among them. The whole purpose was to help these widows to adjust to the new. We as Christians can show the love of Christ. We don't overtly engage in evangelism, but we want to see that, through our contact with them, they will catch a glimpse of the love of Christ.
The widows and young children slowly but surely began to create a vision for themselves. Slowly they began to regain the hope they had lost from the aftermath of the war. No more war, we want peace, they kept saying. The Shalom Project introduced children's clubs where children regularly meet. As a result, their grades in weaker subjects have significantly improved. The Shalom Project also provided 10 schools with basic libraries and helped increase extracurricular and sport activities at school. The Shalom Project as a whole empowered several hundred women towards sustainable business. It also introduced the widows to 25 to 30 self-help groups. In addition, the project provided 100 widows with home furniture to enhance their children's learning. The teachers have noticed that the increase of resources at school and at home has resulted in higher attendance, grades, and support from parents. Before the Shalom Project began, in these war-affected communities, the war widows would often fall into depression. They had difficulty caring for themselves and neglected the well-being of their families. Through the organizations that partnered with the Shalom Project, the war widows were able to rebuild their lives. They were given the financial, social, and emotional support needed to take care not only for themselves, but most importantly, their children, who will become a part of the future generation of Sri Lanka.
ஜீவன் போனாலும் ஒரு நல்ல இடத்துக்கு போவோம். எத்தனை பேர் சவால் போட்டும் எனக்கு அடுத்து தந்ததில் இன்றைக்கு நான் சாப்பிட்றேன். என் பிள்ளைகள்கிட்ட போகாமல் நான் சாப்பிட்றேன். அவன் பூத்தான் இன்றைக்கு எந்த பூத்தான் அவனுக்கு விழும் வடிவாக உண்மையில். எல்லாத்துக்கு தண்ணியும் இல்லாமல் நான் என்ன பாடுபட்டிருக்கணும். அவன் சொன்னவா எனக்கு தெரியும், நான் யாருக்கு அடிக்கணுமெண்டு யார் வல்லமையான ஆக்கலன்ட்டு எனக்கு தெரியுமென்று சொல்லி எல்லாரையும் மீட் பண்ணி எனக்கு கொண்டு